Hey everybody, I'm Lizzie Arbogast, sports editor at Tallapoosa Publishers, alongside from a distance, my managing editor, Santana Wood. How's everything going tonight?
It's going pretty good. Just another day of the work from home life. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just another day of no sports, and
Yeah.
that became longer tonight. Anyway, that's we want to dig into. Obviously, bringing you guys your latest coronavirus updates, and we are going to start off with obviously the big news of the day. Governor Kay Ivey announced that online learning instruction will begin April 6th, if it hasn't already, and that will be for the remainder of the school year.
Yeah, and I honestly, my personal opinion, I think that she made the right call there.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of officials are obviously having to make difficult decisions throughout this, and this is just one of those. But I think ultimately, you got to put people's lives at the forefront, and it's better safe than sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was talking to one of our news reporters, Amy Passaretti, and she kind of said, it's one of those things where if you under prepare, you'll know very quickly. And if you over prepare, you may never know. But it is, like you said, better to be safe than sorry. Also, in that press conference, which was Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock, State Superintendent Eric Mackey was also there with Governor Kay Ivey and said that he is going to be having a conference call with all the superintendents in the state, and both, at least one of our superintendents confirmed that, a conference call Friday morning, and he'll have some more guidance on what exactly that online learning is going to look like, what graduation requirements are going to be, all those kinds of things. So obviously there's a lot of questions, and hopefully we'll have a little bit more answers tomorrow.
Yeah, and all of our local superintendents in Tallahassee, Elmore County Public Schools, Tallapoosa County Schools, and Alexander City Schools all really echoed the same sentiment that, we were prepared for this. We kind of saw this coming. Tallapoosa County Schools Superintendent Joe Wendell did say that obviously he will know more after having that call with Dr. Mackey in the morning, but he wasn't expecting to return to school April 6th. And so they have been getting some plans in the works along the way. And obviously this is going to bring its challenges. And that's what Alexander City Schools Superintendent Keith Langford said as well. And he said, this is sad. It's just really sad. But ultimately, let's look at it as a learning experience. Let's figure out how to make this work. And ultimately, the kids come first.
Yeah, and I think that's the important thing to remember is that, the kids are coming first in this, and, they're trying to do whatever it is to keep them healthy, and they're going to find ways to make sure that they get their online instruction the best they can. And one thing Mackey did say during the press conference was that, they'll make sure to hit on those really important points of learning. It might not be as in-depth, obviously, as it would have been in the classroom, but to make sure that they get everything that they need.
Right. And Elmore County Schools Superintendent Richard Dennis very much said that this is just going to have to be taken in phases, but ultimately they're very focused on not losing the standards that they uphold. And I think that comes from all of our local superintendents as well. They're focused on figuring out how to close that gap in the curriculum. And that's something that Dennis spoke on briefly today whenever he heard the news. And he's already got multiple meetings set up to kind of figure out how to make this work, and definitely focusing on the broadband issue, which is going to be an issue for many students in all of our communities in the surrounding area. Tallahassee City Schools Superintendent Wade Shipman said the same thing. The internet is obviously going to be an issue. So they're looking at ways to figure out how to make that work. And of course, nothing is finalized at this time, but they are looking to figure out how to make that work. It's just all in the works right now.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing is there are so many questions still. Obviously, with the announcement Thursday, also that means an end to spring sports for the Alabama High School Athletic Association. And I did get a chance to talk to some coaches today as well who, same thing. I mean, yes, the decision is right. Yes, we're doing what we need to. The safety of the kids is more important, but it's still sad, a lot of teams in our area were on the path to a really successful season. I talked to Coach Benjamin Russell baseball coach, Richie Brooks, and he's also a father, and it's his son's senior year. He's been doing this for 31 years as a baseball coach. And now it's like, well, what do you do now? I got a little bit of encouragement from Benjamin Russell boys soccer coach Austin Teal. Spoke to him, and he actually was very much like, this is bigger than sports. But obviously it's my job to report about sports. But he said something about trying to find a way to maybe next season have a senior night for those kids that didn't get that kind of thing, because it's hard, and you look at graduations and what does that mean, and how is that gonna happen, and all these kind of milestone moments that we take for granted as they're always going to be there, and now they're not there.
Yeah, I think that definitely big in the discussion is the seniors, and especially those student athletes and the graduations. It's just obviously they don't have plans for that at this time, but moving forward, whatever it's going to be is likely not going to be conventional and traditional.
Right.
And a high school kid always looks forward to walking and getting their diploma.
Yeah.
That's so important, a major milestone, like you said. And I think that is very sad. But like I said, ultimately, I think that Governor Ivey made the right call here. But there are tons of concerns. I know that parents have concerns. I've already seen some teachers who are just absolutely heartbroken,
Right.
because this is there's a lot of issues. I mean, just the social aspect, the student-teacher interaction,
Right.
and the social aspect with classmates, students and their classmates.
Yeah, and also the issue of obviously childcare. There's a lot of elementary school kids. I mean, their parents at this time in Alabama, it's not to the point where all non-essential businesses have been shut down. What do you do if you still have to go to work for the next 2.5 months? What do you do with your kids? How do you make sure your kids are taken care of, giving them their needs? The feeding programs have been going strong, but can they financially survive for 2.5 extra months of making sure that our kids and our communities are fed? So all those details, I'm sure, are going to be ironed out over the next couple of days, but that is obviously our big kind of topic for today, just because there are so many trickle-down effects, certainly.
Yeah, there will be a lot of things to continue to work out. I'm looking forward to see how each of our respective school systems work it out. I know that it's going to be a challenge for them, but I think, like Dr. Keith Langford said, let's look at this as a learning experience and try to be as positive about it as we can, because despite all the concerns and the heartbreak that surrounds all of it, it is for the best.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take just a really quick break, and we'll be back. We're going to talk about some numbers as well as a couple other little things happening in our areas today. All right, we are back. I'm Lizzie Arbogast, sports editor at Tallapoosa Publishers, alongside managing editor Santana Wood. Again, had a good discussion about kind of what it means that schools will not be in session in the buildings for the rest of the year. Do you want to talk a little bit about the numbers, because there have been some changes to how they're reporting numbers. The big thing is that the Alabama Department of Health is releasing their numbers seemingly constantly. I mean, every time I go back and refresh, it's another number here, a number there. As of 6:40, it was the most updated numbers we could get before we went live. There are 524 confirmed cases across the state, with 4,082 tested.
Yeah, I'm happy to see them updating that more often throughout the day. And, we will continue to update you twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening, to continue to give you those numbers. But I think that hopefully it's at least a little bit more of an accurate picture of what's going on with the numbers right now.
I think that might could be that, like we had said, they were kind of overwhelmed with Alabama had just got its test, so maybe now they're sort of catching up on what is actually accurate and reflective of what information they have. Again, I don't think anyone's trying to hide anything, just trying to get the most accurate information that they can.
Yeah, and with those numbers, nearly 13% of people who are being tested are coming out positive, and all facilities are only testing those with symptoms. So right now, the numbers are still reflecting 10 confirmed cases in Elmore County and 4 confirmed cases in Tallapoosa County. And today, they released 2 confirmed cases in Coosa County.
Yeah, and those were the first in Coosa County as well. Our reporter Cliff Williams is trying to track down where those people might have been tested, because as of right now, there's not a testing facility in Coosa County that we're aware of. So I want to move on to a little bit of myth versus fact. My boyfriend came home the other day, God love him, and said, "Oh my gosh, did you know that Kenny Rogers died of the coronavirus?" This is not a fact. So that's our big myth versus facts of the day, because I thought it was kind of funny. I wanted to poke some fun at him. Kenny Rogers died of natural causes at the age of 81. So he did not die of the coronavirus. I want to set the record straight for anyone else that might be thinking that.
Yes, thank you, Lizzie, for setting that straight in case anyone was confused. We also still have our meme contest going on Facebook, and that's been kind of fun. I think a way to kind of lighten the mood a little bit as this thing continues to progress in our community. Just give some brightness in the day, seeing some funny memes on Facebook. So continue to be commenting those, as well as we'll continue to keep that up for a little while.
Yeah, absolutely. And as always, we do want to end on a high note. We've got so many feel-good stories coming in, so many local businesses, people doing little bits of things, whatever they can do, whether it's giving away a gift card to a local business or offering a discount or anything like that. But we found a cool story. Cliff went out today and found the coronavirus gang.
That he did. This is a group of kids, 3 Dadeville Elementary students who take their Nerf guns out and they go hunting for the coronavirus. Might not be the most, the best way of finding it, but hey, it's a good way for them to get out and have some fun, get some fresh air, practice that social distancing, and hang out together. This is, at least 50 Nerf guns. So one of the kids wants to assure readers that Dadeville is safe. And we will have that story in Friday's Outlook for you to read all about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you've got any of those fun kind of things going on in your communities that you've seen, feel-good stories, businesses helping out, kids finding creative ways to stay entertained, please come to us at the Outlook, the Wetumpka Herald, the Tallahassee Tribune. We want to be that source where you can not only find informative information, but also something to brighten your day a little bit, because we need everything that we can get right now.
That we do, and we will continue to come to you guys live every weeknight here at 7 p.m. on each of the Facebook pages. If you will continue to turn to us to news, we'd be happy for that. And thank you all for supporting us and continuing to turn to us for news, and continue to stick with us. Again, I am Santana Wood, Managing Editor, alongside Sports Editor Lizzie Arbogast.
We'll see y'all tomorrow night.